Racist abuse, pitch invasions, animal slaughtering, and even death. There's nothing these fans won't do for the love of football. Stick around and find out what caused these guys to go absolutely wild. Be sure to click that subscribe button and don't miss any crazy videos we have right here. England vs Scotland 1977. Everybody loves to beat the English and none more than the Scots. But what if I told you that my brothers from Scotland went bat crazy? See, in 1977, when Scotland beat England 2-1 in a championship match at Wembley, there were mad scenes, man. Absolute madness. The Tartan Army have always been on a madness, to be fair. Just like the time they even cheered the English national anthem. So it's no surprise they invaded the pitch, in which thousands ran onto the field and even going as far as digging up bits of the football field to take home. Hell, this guy even broke the goal post. But hey, we all love a good atmosphere, no? But what if there simply is no atmosphere? Like the time Swedish fans silently protested at the mall? See, AIK is one of the biggest clubs in Sweden, and these guys love football. Hell, who doesn't? So I guess when the local authorities were like, hey guys, we're kind of in a pandemic at the moment, so this means no football. And boy, they did not like that at all. Thing is, the Swedish government allowed gatherings in malls, which left fans very confused as to why the same couldn't be done for football stadiums. I mean, hell, even the General Secretary of Swedish Elite Football was confused. Oh, on a side note, what a title that is! The General Secretary of Swedish Elite Football. Nice ring to it. But hey, anyways, my man came out and said, "We have a feeling that we are not being seen as the large operation we actually are. It feels easier for the health authorities to find solutions for shopping centers and bars than for us. I don't know why, really." I don't know, man. Probably because football fans are crazy at... I mean, you do know what they did to 3 of my friends during the Euro 2020s, right? And also what they did to my Italian brothers. God, I vowed to never, ever forgive them ever again. And to never, ever tell the story ever again. But since you practically begged me, I guess I'll tell you about England fans' behavior during the Euros. See, after England lost 1-0 to Italy once again, it meant that it's not coming home. And instead, he was coming home, meaning that domestic abuse rates went up like sky high. And it also meant that my boy Marcus Rashford received so much hate, and so did Bukayo Saka and Jadon Sancho, after each of them missed their penalties in the final. Not to mention the attacking of Italian fans as they were returning back home after the match. This is definitely one of the times fans really went too far. And another time was when an Everton fan handcuffed himself to the post. After their shock win over Manchester City back in 2016, a local man John Foley ran onto the pitch. By the time anyone tried to stop him, he had already handcuffed himself to one of the goalposts. Wow, John, wow. Everton go on to beat Manchester City, a team full of elite players, and you decide to distract this glorious achievement by literally tying yourself to a post. But hey, his reasoning was pretty solid, to be fair. Foley said that he was protesting against his daughter's unfair dismissal from her job at an airline called Ryanair. But hey man, at least Queen Elizabeth went easy on him and didn't give him a crazy punishment like she did to Louis McKechnie. 21-year-old mechanical engineering student Louis McKechnie took things to the extreme by tying himself to a goalpost during Everton's game against Newcastle. The match had to be halted, as Louis claimed he was protesting against Great Britain's excessive use of oil or something like that. Yeah, I hope he made his 15 seconds of fame count, because afterwards, the man was hit with a 3-year ban, fined with over $500, and was given a 6-week prison sentence. Damn, that's crazy. But I don't know, man. Would you say it was as crazy as the time that fans literally disrespected a football club owner? And you're probably asking yourself, why? I mean, aren't club owners supposed to be loved by their fans? Well, not when you're Dietmar Hopp, apparently. The entrepreneur has been seen as a controversial figure in German football, ever since he helped Hoffenheim gain promotion from amateur football to Bundesliga. In his time, he has invested more than $400 million into the club. Hoffenheim saw an incline in their 2017 to 2018 season, after finishing the league in 3rd place and secured a Champions League spot for the first time in their history. No big deal, right? Wrong! apparently it's a big deal. You see, since Hop owns 96% of the club, his management and financial structures have always been criticized by fans as they broke the 50+1 rule. This is an ownership model in Bundesliga, and it states that the supporters or other stakeholders must own a majority of shares in a club. But my man Hop practically said that and was granted exception from the regulation, resulting in him becoming a majority owner of Hoffenheim. This is why some Bundesliga fans have taken things too far by displaying blasphemous and disrespectful banners. And that's pretty sad if you ask me, since he's just trying to win. Trophies ain't free, man. I think those rival fans are just selfish pigs. Oh, and speaking of, this reminds me of the time I went to go watch a match between Barcelona and Real Madrid in 2002. I mean, we all know how crazy El Clasico derbies get. Brutal tackles, brutal fouls, crazy goals, heated moments, Sergio Ramos, and pigs? Yes, indeed. One home fan at the Nou Camp could no longer contain his anger of seeing former Barca icon Luis Figo playing for Real Madrid. He decided to reprimand the player by throwing a pig's head onto the field as Raul prepared to take a corner. I myself, of course, laughed at this. That was hilarious. But I didn't find it funny the time a fan ruined Ronaldo's final match with Real Madrid against Liverpool. In Ronaldo's last ever UCL final, a pitch invader disrupted what would have been one of Cristiano Ronaldo's best goals. Ronaldo came up one-on-one against Virgil van Dijk and was prepared to take his ankles. And of course, we didn't get to see that after an NPC had other plans and ruined everything for the Madridistas. Bam! If I was CR7, I would have definitely thrown hands. Just like Patrick Vieira did against an Everton fan. Who thought it was funny to do this? That guy's a lucky man. Patrick Vieira looks like the kid nobody wanted to mess with in school. Cause, I mean bro, look at him. You mess with this guy, he'll definitely whoop your ass. Which is what Jurgen Klopp should have done to a fan who almost injured Andy Robertson after United conceded their 7th goal against Liverpool. Damn, I for sure wouldn't want to mess with this. But who can blame him? They've just beat their biggest rivals in the worst way possible. And you expect my man to not want to celebrate like that? Come on, Klopp! I mean, are you forgetting the time a fan did this to Divock Origi? Yo, personally, I wouldn't let that slide, to be honest. If that was me, I would wait till the end of the match and do what my boy Eric Dyer did a time a fan took things like way too far. After Spurs lost to Norwich, Dyer seemingly lost his head as well after climbing up the stands to confront a fan who had an altercation with his brother. I never complain about this stuff, and I don't really mind. I like that kind of humor, you know, if it's in the right way. Yeah, I feel you, Eric. Fans nowadays are extremely toxic. I mean, who can forget the time the Parisians booed 2 of their star players? Messi and Neymar were booed off and left PSG celebrations a lot earlier than expected. It wasn't the first time Neymar was on the receiving end of abuse from PSG fans. But to jeer at Messi? I just don't understand it, man. He's like the sweetest angel there is. How can you hate him? But hey, whatever floats your bike. Or is it whatever floats your boat? Can't quite remember. But anyways, and speaking of bikes, this reminds me of the time a fan saw Pep Guardiola casually riding his bike in the late-night streets of Manchester. The fan was invading Guardiola's space and felt entitled to a picture with him. Safe to say that Pep didn't appreciate this. But the next 3 on the list are extremely disrespectful, man. If you thought fans took things too far in the previous clips, wait till you hear the next moment on our list. Don't say I didn't warn you. So, if you feel like throwing your TV remote or your mom's iPad in anger, then feel free to do so. Oh, and sorry, Mom. Anyways, y'all know Vinny Jr., right? You know, the slick Brazilian baller with a knack for skills, slick hairstyle, fast-paced winger, bright white teeth, and most of all, his celebrations. Vinny plays the beautiful game of football with profound enthusiasm and really embodies the Brazilian epitome of Jogo Bonito. Shout out to all my Brazilian G's, man. These men are the reason why my 5-year-old sister always kicks my ass in Volta football. But anyways, no particular reason to hate him, apart from his skin color, that is. See, all the local abuelos, the padres, the hermanos, and the tios who watch football in Spain, they really don't like him. Like at all. Vinny Jr. is often on the receiving end of racist actions. Banana peels, monkey chants, vile names. I mean, look at this effigy designed by Atletico Madrid fans. Against Valencia, things got so much worse, with Vinny shown a red card after standing up for himself in one of the most heartbreaking moments in his career. This time, fan behavior really took things to the next level. So much so to the point where other footballers like Pogba, Mbappe, Lukaku, and even Man United legend Rio Ferdinand all came out to say that this ain't it. Perhaps a more heartbreaking scene than seeing this is this. Or this. Man, after seeing that, my respect for Messi fans has definitely decreased by a mile. But not as much as it did when the Colombians did something truly tragic. You see, back in the 1994 World Cup, Colombia were favorites to lift the famous trophy against a number of odds. The team consisted of Hernan Gaviria, Wilson Perez, Lionel Alvarez, as well as the legendary Carlos Valderrama. In their team, Colombia also had Andres Escobar, who was unaware of the fate he would be dealt with. And above all, unaware that this would be his last ever football game. In their run for qualification of the World Cup, Colombia finished top of their group and even thrashed Argentina 5-0. The Colombians were confident going into the tournament, full of the hope and optimism players need to have when reaching for World Cup glory. However, things didn't go too well, as they failed to make it past the group stages and lost 2-1 to the United States, courtesy of the infamous own goal scored by Escobar, who was murdered just 5 days later. And just like that, let us know what you think of these crazy times fans went too far. Write down below in the comment section. If you like this video, thumbs up and hit that subscribe button too. Be sure to check out this video here, the worst signings in football history.